Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, sit tight because what I'm about to tell you is a game changer. Rumors are swirling, and the latest reports from some of the top insiders in the league, like Adam Schefter, point to a blockbuster trade that could reshape the NFC West and significantly boost the Seahawks' chances of making a deep playoff push this season and beyond. The buzz is all about CeeDee Lamb, one of the most explosive wide receivers in the league, potentially heading to Seattle from the Dallas Cowboys. This isn't just chatter. It's a move that could really turn the tide in our favor. Let's break it down because this isn't your typical rumor. According to some sources, the Cowboys are considering trading Lamb in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Why would Dallas give up such a talented receiver? Well, the Cowboys are currently sitting at a 5-5 record, and their offense has been a bit inconsistent, especially with their struggles on third downs, converting just about 7% of those opportunities. They're also prioritizing their offensive line, freeing up cap space, about $12 million, and trying to address their needs in the draft and free agency. From the Seahawks' perspective, this potential trade could be a massive boost. Seattle's cap space currently sits around $17. $7 million, and with our roster, especially the wide receiver core, adding a player like Lamb would be a game changer. Think about it. Lamb's route running is elite. His ability to create yards after the catch is explosive, and he's proven he can be a Pro Bowl-level receiver. In 2025, Lamb put up some serious numbers: 85 receptions for over 142 yards and 12 3-yards per catch with 7 touchdowns. He's also graded very highly by PFF with an 89. For rating, putting him among the top receivers in the league. His EPA per target is impressive at 0.29, and his yards after catch average is climbing, up from 4.2 to around 4.8 yards, making him a real deep threat. Now, for Seahawks fans, imagine what this means. Adding Lamb to our offense would immediately elevate our passing game, which has shown flashes of brilliance but hasn't always been consistent enough to dominate defenses. With Geno Smith at quarterback, who's been playing well, especially in terms of efficiency and decision-making, Lamb's addition could push our offense into a different stratosphere. We already have DK Metcalf, who's a physical freak and a deep threat himself, but Lamb's route running and ability to find soft spots in zone coverage would complement Metcalf perfectly. These two could create mismatches all over the field, forcing defenses to pick their poison. The impact on our offensive numbers would be significant. Experts project Lamb to add around 200 yards to our receiving total, plus a boost of over 20% in EPA per pass attempt. Red zone efficiency would skyrocket, estimated to improve by about 25%, which is crucial because scoring touchdowns in the red zone is what separates good teams from great ones. His contested catch percentage is high at 48%, meaning he's reliable in tight coverage, and his ability to win contested catches could be vital in high-pressure moments, especially late in games when every possession counts. Looking at the numbers, Lamb's addition would push our offense's overall production up. Our current points per game hover around 25. But with Lamb, projections suggest that could rise to around 30 points per game, a huge step forward. Third down efficiency, which has been a concern at 36.5%, could increase to over 41%, keeping our offense on the field longer and controlling the clock better. Turnovers are also expected to decrease with Lamb's reliable hands, adding to our ball security. All these factors combine to make the Seahawks a much more formidable team, especially as we head into the playoff push. Now, how does this affect our chances in the big picture? Well, it's not just about improving our offense. It's about changing the perception of the Seahawks as contenders. The Super Bowl odds have already been shifting, and with Lamb, those odds could go from plus 800 to as low as plus 350, making us one of the favorites in the NFC. Remember, teams like the 49ers and Eagles are formidable, but if Seattle pulls off this trade, we're not just in the hunt. We become serious contenders with a real shot at lifting the Lombardi Trophy. It's also interesting to note how this move could influence our defense. While the focus is on the offensive upgrade, Lamb's presence would open up more space for our other weapons, including Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Our secondary and pass rush would benefit as well, because defenses would have to account for this dual threat of Metcalf and Lamb, potentially creating mismatches that our defense can exploit. Plus, with Reed on injured reserve, adding a receiver of Lamb's caliber could help us maintain offensive consistency and take pressure off our young players stepping in. Of course, there are questions about the Cowboys' side of things. They're capping at around $12 million for Lamb, and they're looking to free up cap space for other priorities, which makes a trade plausible. The fact that they're considering moving Lamb for a first-round pick in 2026 shows they're thinking long-term and want to rebuild or retool their roster. But from the Seahawks' perspective, this is a golden opportunity, an aggressive move that could pay huge dividends in our quest for another Super Bowl appearance. It's also worth mentioning that Lamb's career has been remarkably injury-free, which is a huge plus. In 2025, he's been a picture of durability, contributing consistently and proving he can handle the workload at a high level. His chemistry with Dak Prescott has been solid, but he's the kind of player who can elevate any quarterback's game, especially in clutch moments. Bringing that kind of player into our offensive scheme would be a huge statement of intent from the Seahawks front office. It signals that we're serious about competing now, not later. As we look toward the upcoming games, the playoffs, and the possibility of making a deep run, this potential addition could be the spark that pushes us over the top. The NFC is competitive, no doubt, but with a weapon like Lamb, our chances of beating the best increase dramatically. The division race with the 49ers, the Eagles, and even the Lions is tight, but a move like this could give us the edge we need. The Seahawks have always been about finding ways to innovate and improve, and this trade rumor fits perfectly into that mold. It's the kind of bold move that has defined successful teams in the past, and it might just be what Seattle needs to reclaim our spot at the top of the NFC. Now, I know some of you are already thinking about the implications, how this affects the team chemistry, the cap situation, and the draft strategy. But remember, in the NFL, bold moves often define eras. If Seattle pulls this off, it wouldn't just be a win for the present. It would set us up for sustained success for years to come. Think about the legacy we could leave behind, adding Lamb, making a serious playoff run, and maybe even lifting the Lombardi again. That's the kind of future that gets Seahawks fans fired up, and this move could be the first step toward that. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal.